Hello y'all, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the first video that you are watching. Hi, my name is Lauren and I am a third year first grade teacher here in Massachusetts. Today is October 12th. It's a Tuesday. Yesterday we did not have school because it was Indigenous Peoples Day. So my district had no school, no PD, no nothing, which was a nice time to just like be at home and rest. And it could have been a nice time to get some extra things done, but did I do that? No. So anyways, today is going to be a super busy day. This video is going to be a week in my life. Granted, it's only 4 days and not 5, but you get the gist. Right now it is 7:19, so I have to hop onto a Zoom. Tuesday mornings we get here at 7:20 for collaboration. So I'll hop onto that Zoom and talk to y'all soon. All right, meeting over. We were just discussing like streamlining our school-wide system for like behavior and like discipline and referrals and whatnot. So anyways, we did that, and then I printed my weekly lesson plan. I've never, I don't think, like shared how I lesson plan, but it has changed a bit this year. But these are my lesson plans for the week. They are 11 pages long. Anyways, I printed them so that I could have them with me this week. And now it is 8:04 and students don't come in until 8:30, so I have about 26 minutes. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of sit with I do these like digital plans to be shared with admin and to print and keep with me, but I do still like to have a lesson planner, like a handheld one, mostly for like events and like reminders, like a to-do list and like what to do each day kind of deal. So that is why I like to have one of these as well. So I'm going to go through for this week and just kind of like fill it in for like when I have meetings and what's due this week and like little reminders, like random things that I want to do this week, because obviously that wouldn't live like in my lesson plan, but it's important. So I'm going to do that, and then just like spray their tables with some disinfecting spray before they come, and set up breakfast in the classroom. Someone asked if we have breakfast in the classroom. We do, but anyways, I'm just going to do those things and then they will be here. So that's awesome. I'm going to have a lot to do during prep today. Both of our centers are after prep, and then they have lunch and then recess. So I'm gonna have to do quite a bit to like switch out the centers for the week, but that's okay. I'll just have to make like the recording sheets and like run the copies and put them in the folders, things like that, kind of like set up the room. In an ideal world, I would do that like on Friday before I go home for the weekend, but in an ideal world, I would have planned centers before I went home for the weekend. So there's that. Anywho, let me get to work in my lesson planner. Hello again. It is 10:18, so they are at specials right now. I have been making a big old stack of copies, but anyways, this morning went well. Foundations, we learned about the bonus letter rule for the letters F, L, S, sometimes Z, and then in reading we learned our first 2 vocabulary words. This week for curriculum, our mentor text is Chrysanthemum, which is one of my favorite read alouds, and I always want to do it in the first week of school to learn about like treating others with respect and being kind, but I know that we read it in our curriculum, so I don't read it in the first week of school anymore. So I'm just really happy because that's like my favorite book. We always have the best conversations. But anyways, made my copies. We learned those 2 vocabulary words in the bonus letter rule. Now I am going to set up my centers folders, at least for like the first half of the week for reading. We finish like 5 centers within 2.5 days, but because this week only has 4 days, it kind of like throws things off. So we'll see what happens there. But let me pull out the copies for like math today, like math lesson, and then I will show you how I set up folders for centers. Okay, for reading centers for this week, I want to talk through what the first round of centers will be. So for centers, I do an iPad center, and they are working on Imagine Learning now that I have discovered my access to that app. So Imagine Learning is the iPad center. They do a Read to Self center where they are using decodables from their book bags to just practice tapping and reading books and stories to themselves. And then I have a Work on Writing center. where I use one of our curriculum vocabulary words in a sentence and they have to finish the sentence. Normally I change it for the second round so that they practice using 2 different vocabulary words. So this week, our first sentence says, my favorite possession is, and I bolded possession, but it's really hard to tell with the KG Red Hands font when a word is bolded. But possession is the vocabulary word. So this is the first sentence that they're going to do at the Work on Writing Center. One quick note about Work on Writing. Last week, I had a student, and I like to tell my students to help one another, but don't do something for someone else. Help them to get to a solution, but don't tell them what to do. Just in an ideal world, that doesn't help both students learn. But anyways, normally when one of my students is feeling stuck, I count the sounds in a word with them, and then I draw Elkonin boxes for them. Well, last week at the Work on Writing Center, one of my sweet girlies had a teammate in her group who was feeling stuck, and she asked me, Miss Kurtz, can I use one of your highlighters? And I was like, okay. And she took a highlighter. She went and drew him Elkonin boxes on his thing and helped him think of, okay, now what letter? He was trying to spell the words fox and fast. She did 2 sets. She did 3 boxes for fox, and then she said ox. What letters do you think you should use? But anyways, it was the cutest thing ever. So that's the Work on Writing Center. Then I have a Word Work Center and a Weekly Skill Center. So this week for Weekly Skill, they are doing some orthographic mapping. I hope I said that right. With the trick words from Foundations, but we're calling them heart words this year, and you'll see why. This is something that I have made. These are all of the Unit 2 words, and then they have Unit 3 here, calling them heart words because when you do orthographic mapping, you denote like each of the sounds, whether it's regular or whether it like you have to learn it by heart because it breaks the rules. It's irregular. So in the word the, this is a schwa sound, which is why the E has a heart over it, because we have to remember that by heart. This word is not the, it's the, and this is the letter that's irregular. We have to remember by heart that that's an E. So anyways, that's kind of what it looks like. It says pop it, and then trace it, map it, write it, because I have these pop-its that I got from Amazon that 1, are shaped like hearts, heart words, 2, they have the letters from the alphabet on them, and they're all uppercase, which like I would rather them be lowercase, but they came in a set of 2. I just bought two packs, so I have 4 for them to use. So what they'll do is they'll look at the word the, they'll pop it to spell it on here, T-H-E, and at the bottom there's a heart, so I just have them pop the heart too. Then they trace the word, they map the word, and I have it traced for them like in the boxes with the little like dot letters, and then they write it on their own. So yeah, that's what they're doing for Weekly Skill. They'll do all of the Unit 2 and then the Unit 3 words. I believe there are 17 words altogether, but this they do at their desk. So they'll take this from the folder, they'll take a pop-it from the little centers area, take it to their seat and work on this. And then for word work, they have these. There are 4 different colors. There's yellow, green, orange, and pink. Each of them is a different short vowel. And then to match each of these, there are game boards. And so what they have to do is they have to read the word, then find the picture that matches. This one is orange, so the student would have the short I container that is also orange. And there's a picture of a pig somewhere in here. So they would have to read the word pig, look for the pig, cover the word with the pig. They have to do the whole board, and then they can switch with a partner. They're gonna take turns reading, covering, reading, covering. There's no written component for this one. They're just reading, covering, and they're just going back and forth and playing together, which is fine. The one thing that is wrong with this center, however, is when I made this center, which was in my first year, I did not mark on the back of the picture cards with a marker before I laminated them. So like, if these get lost, like if they fall out of the orange container, they wouldn't like automatically know that the orange container is for all of the short I words and they need to go back. So what I have is some of the garage sale stickers, these, and I'm just gonna put these on the back of all of the cards because I have like so many of these. They're super cheap. So I'm gonna put orange, pink, green, and yellow on the pieces so that way they know where they go back. So those are the reading centers. And then for math, I only have 2 centers. I have at your seat and hands on. For hands on, I need to laminate these. So they are just like finishing their own word problem. I have little suction spinners that I'll stick on once it's laminated. So they spin 2 add-ins, write them in, and then they're going to use counters. It says Play-Doh, but I'm going to have them use red and yellow counters in this space, write a number sentence, write a number bond, and then they erase it all and do it again. So again, there's no like written paper component for this. It's just like continued practice. And then at your seat, they are doing, I have 2 groups for math. My math model is a little interesting. Basically, I have an at or above level group who starts at the 2 centers, and I have my approaching level group who starts with me for 20 minutes. During that 20 minutes, these groups are hands-on at your seat. After 10 minutes, they switch. Hands-on at your seat, and then after 20 minutes they all come to me and they go out to centers. But anyways, at your seat today, my at or above level group is working on word problems with addition, and my approaching level group is working on their number addition number sentences. So just really practicing and focusing on solving, because also quite a few of those students are nearing grade level with reading. They are approaching level there as well, so the words, they struggle with like reading them to themselves to then solve the problem. So anyways, that's the at your seat work. This is the hands-on for both groups. That way they both can practice word problems. This is bad to teach them, but essentially in this scenario, the students who can't read the word problem don't have to. They're just spinning the 2 add-ins and then solving. But those who can read them will read them anyways. So those are all of my centers. So what I need to do in the next 26 minutes before I go to lunch is sticker all of the word work pieces, laminate these, and then I'll be good to go, and then just like put them in the folders where they belong. So let me plug in my laminator and start stickering. Right now we are at Purple Table, which is in like the front corner of my classroom, and Purple Table is our work on writing table during reading centers, and then this is where they get their at their seat work during math center. So I have this purple tray, this is from Target, and then I have 2 purple folders. This is the math folder. My groups are grouped by shape, so this is the at or above word, it keeps flopping, word problem practice, and then this is the approaching number sentence practice. So they know to take the paper from their side for at your seat. And then it's also in this purple folder is the sentences from last week, the work on writing center. I admire blank because, and then I hope if I can take those out, those were just extras to be recycled. And I'm going to put just this one in there for now. My favorite possession is, and then once we update centers and they've finished 1 rotation, I will add another vocabulary sentence here. It's, I think, with the word beam, so like I beamed when, and then once they have done both sentences, they can choose either of them to practice again if they have time. So that is for reading centers. I'm gonna leave this one out and open because we do reading centers as soon as they get back. So these can go in the recycling bin, and then I also have this little purple caddy with some stuff in it that goes right there. So there's one of the tables. All right, so same setup at red table. I have a red tray that goes on the bottom, and then the folders go in the tray and the caddy goes on top of the folder. So here is the math hands-on is here at this table. So they'll need these. They are laminated. The spinners that they'll use are in the red table caddy. Let me put these in here. Both groups are doing the same hands-on today, so only has one side. But the spinners, the dry erase markers, the dry erasers, and the counters are all in the table caddy. So all they'll need to do is just come here and they have everything that they need. So there's the math folder. Let me put it under the caddy. And then red table is also where the word work center happens during reading centers. So I have this folder. I actually put word work in one side of it, and then I put weekly skill in the other side. So first I have the word work game boards. I'm gonna put those here. I will put these pieces, like the boxes that keep the game pieces, in the table caddy. Oh, I hope 4 of them fit. Hold on. Only 3 of them fit, but I only have 3 students in a group, but I want all 4 of them to be there. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, hold that thought. Had to go get the weekly scale mapping papers. They go on the other side of the folder. And the heart poppets are gonna go in the red table bucket because these will all fit. All right, let me flip you around and show you. All right, so I have the word game boards, the weekly skill recording papers, and then this is what it looks like. So this is the math folder. I just switched them quickly before math centers. Here are the word game pieces, the weekly skill poppets. Here are the counters, the spinners, the markers, and the erasers for the math game. So they have everything they need. And I just went ahead and set it up for 3 WordWork students, just like the work on writing folder has been left open because we go right into reading centers when they get back. And then this is open so the weekly skill friends can grab their recording sheet and their poppet and head to their desk to do that. So I hope that was helpful. I've gotten a couple of questions like throughout the past few years about centers and like where I get resources and what I do. So I mentioned in my last vlog that I'm pretty much trying to use like curriculum only kind of resources unless it's something that like I've already made. So like that WordWork Center I made my first year and like I already had it laminated and color coded and like I'll use it. I already bought it, I already made it. So all I have to do is like pull it out and use it. That's the best part about not being a first year teacher is not making all of the centers from scratch. But anyways, so there is the centers all set up. I have about 7 minutes before lunchtime. Lunch is from 11 to 11:30, and then they come back in and we have like boom, boom, bang all afternoon, reading centers, math, brain break, genius hour, writing, science. So then I like won't have a moment to do anything other than like that genius hour, the hour where they're on their iPads doing like differentiated apps. I have some time to like meet with students and yada yada, but it's a long afternoon. So now I'm thinking I need to do just print quickly some homework. I send home 1 night of ELA practice and 1 night of math practice per night, and it's optional. So since it's a 4-day week and it's due on Friday, they'll only have 3 days to work on it. So I'm gonna find 3 ELA pages, 3 math pages that are like aligned with the skill that we've been learning at school, and just things that like I've already bought on GPT, bundles and whatnot. Print those out as like a packet and staple it, and then at the end of the week, if it comes back on Friday, they get a like PBIS dollar for each day that they completed. So that just a way to like reward the students who choose to do it. I honestly haven't done homework before, but I had quite a few students and like families asking this year for it. So that is the resolution that I've come to, is to just provide something in case they want it. So let me just quickly print those out, and then it will be lunchtime, and then I'll catch up with y'all at the end of the day. Hello. It is 4:01. Our contract time ends at 3:50, but today is a Tuesday, so Teddy is at daycare. Technically he can stay until 7, but I'm about 20 minutes away, so I always leave by like 6:15 just in case I hit traffic or something, because if he ends up there at or after 7, he becomes an overnight guest, is what the like contract says. So anyways, I can stay at school for a while is like the point of me saying this. Wanted to catch you guys up about our afternoon. The afternoon went well. I was missing quite a few students today, so I only had 12 in the room, which like makes everything easier because then it's just like generally like less chaos when there are less tiny humans. So yeah, I mean, it was a good day. We did. Our math lesson was word problems, first layer of difficult, and then they were missing add-in word problems. So it was not easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was difficult, lemon difficult, but we did our best. There were only, I think, like 2 of them that I needed to like regroup, reteach, like one-on-one, which is pretty good. 2 out of 12. So anyways, the math lesson went well. Genius hour was fine. And then on Tuesdays, our guidance counselor comes to do trails, which is like a social emotional learning curriculum. We used to do second step, and then this year they switched to trails. So it's new to me too. But it was actually today was her intern who taught, which was cool. So they loved that. But then by that time, there's only like 10 minutes left before we pack up. So I just put on like a Halloween read aloud on Epic and let them hang out and listen to the story. But anyways, now I don't think I'm going to stay until 6 today. Honestly, I said I can. That doesn't mean I have to. I wanted to, because I was talking about centers this morning and I showed y'all the heart word, like orthographic. Let me just Google and make sure that I am saying that correctly. Yes, okay, I knew it, but I just wanted to make sure. The like orthographic mapping of the heart words with like the heart-shaped poppets and everything. I posted that last night on my TPT because like it's pretty niche to need like level 1 foundations aligned orthographic mapping products. So I wasn't expecting many people to like want them, especially because the foundations trick words don't align with like the dolch words or the fry words. Like they aren't aligned with one of the like more widely known sight word or high frequency word list. So I didn't know how many people would be interested, and actually like almost 300 people wanted it, which is like, okay, shocking to me. But now that means that I need to post it. So I got to do that. So far I have units 2, 3, and part of unit 4 done. Like the worksheets, I would like for it to be like finished before I post it. Let me just show y'all so you remember what I'm talking about. So here, I have unit 4, some of them, units 3, unit 2. In an ideal world, I would finish them all like today and just post it all at the same time, all at one whack, and just label it like, I don't even know what, level 1 trick / heart words orthographic mapping. I don't even know. Anyways, y'all get the point. I want it to be done. I don't know how long it's going to take me because there are 14 of the units and I'm just like looking at how many words I have left to go. I am not going to include Mr. or Mrs. Because those aren't necessarily like spelled irregularly. Those are just abbreviations. So those aren't going to be included. So it'll be 91 words altogether. So it's going to take me a while to like make these because it's not just like I change the words on each page. Like I have to change the size of the font and I have to change the number of boxes for each sound and I have to change like the markers, whether it's like a box for a regular spelling or a heart, because that's the part of the word that we have to learn by heart because it's irregular. Like you get the gist. It's not just like me going through and like typing a different word in each space. It takes a little while. Like for the one page that I made for unit 4, I did that while she was doing her guidance lesson with them, her trails lesson. And it probably took me about like 12 minutes just to like move everything, which is fine, because I would make them for my class anyways. I just, now that I like asked if anyone else would want it, if I were to like list it as a paid product and people said yes, I feel like I need to like do them quickly and get them all up. So there's the long spiel. If you were watching this morning and thought like, oh my goodness, I really like that, hopefully by the time this video is posted, I'll have the link down in the description if you want to purchase those. So I need to work on that, but also I'm going to pause that and not do that right this second because this weekend, let me just go to my car and get them and then I'll show you. Okay, like I was saying, this weekend at Target, I got a lot of pumpkins because in the dollar spot they had like fun, bright, rainbow colored pumpkins, which is awesome because I do not, if you've been watching my channel before around this time of year, you know, I do not like Halloween. In fact, I would venture as far as to say that I hate Halloween. Can't stand it. But do you know who loves Halloween? First graders. So I am trying to be more open to the idea of like a little bit of like fun, cute fall Halloween-esque things. I do not like scary, not into it, so I will not have like spooky scary in my room. Now if you do, that's great, but just like personally, I don't really like to do that stuff in my classroom, but fun, happy, bright, colorful things, yeah, sure. So I got a bunch of these rainbow, bright, colorful pumpkins, and I am just going to spend a few minutes placing them around, just like a little bit here, a little bit there. I have, let's see, 2 big pinks, 2 big oranges, a big yellow, and a big purple. And then I have a bunch of like the little ones. So I'm imagining like anywhere I put a big one, I would put like 2 smaller ones like in a little arrangement that are different colors. So I'm going to open all these, place them around. I make it a little more festive in here. Let's do it. Right, well, that took all of 30 seconds, but I will quickly spin, sorry, I've gum in my cheek, and show you where I placed the pumpkins. So, on top of our air scrubber, there's a little, is smattering a word? I feel like it is. A little herd of pumpkins. Where else? Under the TV, there's a little group of rainbow pumpkins. On the corner of the purple table, there's a little group of pumpkins, and then in the window, so from the hallway, you can see a little group of pumpkins. And now I have just gotten a wild hair, if you couldn't tell by when I turned around. We are not using this bulletin board effectively. Sorry, I had to spit out the gum and it was driving me crazy. But anyways, when I say we are not using it effectively, yes, 2 of these fell and I have yet to replace them. Put that on the to-do list. I mean, like, I did not make this a bulletin board that was going to serve them in any way. It was intended to be purposeful, like listing the objectives, but honestly, I state our like objectives and our purpose statement verbally, and they repeat it back to me, and we do a little checklist throughout the week, and we like privately conference about what our objectives were and did they meet them. So like that is not helpful. But the fact that purple table is our writing center has me thinking that I think I'm going to put a like heart word library on that wall, and I won't do them, I don't think, in alphabetical order. I think I will do them like in the order that we learned them. So all of that being said, I took down the little like clear pouches where I was like had the card stuck in to just dry erase the objectives that I was like not really doing anyways, and I think I'm going to take the objectives letters off and then repaper that bulletin board, because I haven't papered that bulletin board since I got this classroom, like what, 2 years ago, because this is my 3rd year, so like 2.5 years ago I put up that bulletin board and I haven't touched it since. So I'm going to take the letters down, take the borders off, but lay them out so that like I have them. I'll reuse the borders, but I'm just going to repaper because it's like sagging. And I don't know if I vlogged about this, but I definitely talked about it on Instagram last year. One of my kids had SpaghettiOs in a thermos and it like got too pressurized and literally exploded. So there's like SpaghettiOs on the white paper. It just needs to be repapered. So I'm going to take the letters off, repaper it, put the borders back up. And then tonight I need to make bulletin board letters that say like heart words or like our heart word library, something like that. But I'm not going to put them up until we learn them. So we'll have like the sound wall in the back of the room and then our heart words right there, because that's where they sit for work on writing. And I think it would be a useful reference tool. So I just have to show you because I know there are some people who are like, exploding SpaghettiOs, really? That doesn't seem likely. This and this. Those are petrified SpaghettiOs that have been stuck up there since last year. So glad to be repapering that board. Yeah. Time to pull the paper off, and then once I have that paper off, getting new paper up and like the border back up is not that difficult. So luckily this is happening pretty quick. I think I might be out of here by 5, but we'll see. Let me get that new paper on there. Repapered. It looks so much fresher and nicer and newer. So there's that. Now it is ready to be made into something different. So now I can make it into that like heart word display. So I will have to make those letters at home with my Cricut, but for right now it is 5:11, so I'm a little bit later than 5, but that is okay. I am going to head out. I need to make those letters tonight, and then I will show you guys how I like put it together tomorrow and what it ends up looking like. I'm just going to head home, pick up Teddy, and really the only thing school related I'll do tonight is make those letters. So I'll see y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. I already did the calendar. Ready to go. Well, update y'all. It ain't Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Oops. Let me catch you guys up a bit. So yesterday I had a new student. So that kind of like threw things for a loop. And on top of that, on Wednesdays, technically we don't have to get here till 8:20. So yesterday I decided I was going to sleep in until 7. And I actually got here like right at 8:20. So that happening means I didn't have time to like pick up my phone and vlog yesterday morning. And then I had my new student come yesterday. So during prep, I was like super busy making sure everything was like organized, and because I didn't have any time in the morning. Anyways, I apologize for that. Yesterday was a good day. I mean, it was stressful. You guys know, if you're a teacher, it's wonderful to get someone new in your class because it like grows your community, and the kids are always so excited, and like it was great. It just is like stressful because it throws things out of whack. But anyways, that was great. Today is Thursday. It is specials right now. The kids are at specials. On Thursday mornings, we have team collaboration. So I had that meeting this morning before school. And then so far this morning, we have done foundations, and we learned the glute sound, A-L-L, all. Y'all, I got flamed by my first graders because we were making a list of words that have all in them. And one of them was like, and giggled and raised their hand. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Called on the student. And he said, well, sometimes Mrs. Kurtz, you say y'all in the most country accent that student could come up with, which like, I don't feel like I have much of a Southern accent anymore since moving up here. But that just like set them all off, and they thought it was so funny. And I was like, you know what? It's a word and it means you all. It's a contraction. Let's add it to our list. So we added the word y'all, and then they were like, y'all. They were just roasting me, but it was really funny. So that was foundations. And then for reading today, we read Chrysanthemum. Yesterday we learned like the final 2 vocabulary words, and today we did our first read and made like a story chart like the one in my last vlog, just with like the author and the title in the middle, and then characters, setting, beginning, middle, end. And then at the bottom it says message, but we're going to do the message tomorrow before we do our comprehension quiz. It's going to be a lot to do in one day, but it's because we have like one less day in the week, so I have to like make things fit. So anyways, that was this morning. It was funny and great, but now I need to get ready for the afternoon. So the few things that I need to get done, first of all, for Hispanic Heritage Month, each of us like homeroom teachers chose a Spanish speaking country, and I chose Guatemala because I did like a student teaching experience, like a volunteer teaching experience in Guatemala, just so that I felt like it was a country that I could like understand more than just like a quick Google search of like culture and traditions and foods, and you know, you get the gist. So anyways, our class has Guatemala, and we are going to be doing a little book about Guatemala. It looks like this. I have to like cut them up, but it's just like you read through, and while you read, you color and you learn about just the flag and the national bird, and like when Guatemala was created, where it's located. Yes, I am looking through to remember everything that's in it, the capital city. Anyways, we're going to go through these little books about Guatemala today, and then tomorrow we are going to do a craft of the flag, I believe. I did want to do something with like weaving, because Guatemala is famous for its like textiles and its woven textiles, so I'm thinking maybe we'll do that instead. I do think that would be super tricky for first grade, but it would be like an authentic craft related to the fabric and textile production that happens in Guatemala. So I would rather do weaving, like construction paper weaving. I just think that that would maybe be a little bit of a headache. Maybe if I like pre-staple the vertical pieces and I just have them go over, under with the horizontal pieces. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to go for it. So anyways, we're doing the book today. Tomorrow we are going to do a woven textile craft. Okay, there it is. Made up my mind. I'm really excited. So that is going to replace science this afternoon, but we still have reading centers. We're leaving centers the same. I just need to print another sentence for those who are going to go back to a center they've already been to today, since it's our 3rd day of the week. And then the Poppet Center, they didn't finish yet with like orthographic mapping, so they'll be fine to go back to that one. and the word work center they'll go back to because they're just practicing reading words. So I just need to make another writing page. Since some of them will be going back, they'll write a different sentence this time. So that for reading centers. I need to print my copies for my math lesson today. We're doing missing addend, and it's still giving us the runaround for a few of my friends, so that's okay. I also need to, I was going to say I need to print something for reading small groups. I'm going to pause my reading groups and do a core phonics survey because I have been doing phonics-based reading groups rather than like leveled reading groups, just so we're really focusing on like the science of reading and phonics skills and that progression rather than like leveled books. Anyways, so I need to really like unpack where my students are at like with phonics. So we're going to do the core phonics survey. It's going to take me a while because I have to get through all 16 of them, but we're going to give it a go. I'm going to be doing that today, but I already printed the recording sheet, so I don't have to do that. Just the new math sentence, the new writing sentence, the math worksheets, and then I should be good to go. So that's exciting. Oh, and I also need to cut these books. Obviously, there's like 2 to a page, so I just need to like shoo, boom, boom, staple, like cut, staple, get me? Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll be good to go, and I will catch up with y'all this afternoon. We made it! It's the end of the day. It is 4:15, so I do need to skedaddle pretty quickly because Teddy, my dog, my puppy, I know I talk about him all the time, but he's the best. He is at doggy daycare right now. If you haven't heard me talk about him before, he is a little 6-month-old mini Bernedoodle. I'll put a picture of him right here. But he is at daycare, and I need to pick him up to take him to the vet because he just has like the second shot of like a round of vaccines that he's getting today at 5. So I need to go get him and get to the vet and let them know that we're there for his little quick shot appointment. And then we'll head home a little bit earlier than normal. So I'm going to pack all my things up and go pick up little man, and I'll show y'all him in just a second. Okay, well, I said I would show you guys Teddy. We are home now. I picked him up from daycare to head to the vet really quick, and he was like a whole other level of gross and stinky. I mean, normally when he leaves daycare, sorry Teddy, I'm talking about you. Normally he's gross, but it was just like truly unprecedented times today. So we got home from the vet and little man got a bath immediately. So now he's hiding in his den. Teddy, what you had to say to the people? Say hello, my name's Teddy. I got a bath. Now I'm sad. Anyways, he's really sleepy, so that's the end of today's vlog. But I will see y'all in the morning tomorrow for Friday. Yay, happy Friday. Hello, y'all. Happy Friday. It is 4:56. I can't talk. 4:56. The day is over. But I had such a busy day today. We had such a busy day today, and I have to update you guys. So this morning, I had Teddy by myself because Jake, my husband, works in college athletics. If y'all didn't know that, they had a morning practice. So I ended up leaving like way later than I normally would. I mean, I still got to work on time, but not on time to like vlog, on time to like frantically put breakfast where it needs to be and make a couple copies and then like open the door for the students. So anyways, and then during my prep on Friday, we have a data meeting every week with our team, like our grade level team, and we don't really share our data as much as like we independently, but together in the same room, look at our data for Lexia and ST Math, like what students are struggling with, like what students are excelling, how can we celebrate them, how can we help the students who are struggling, how can we plan like mini lessons, things like that. So anywho, didn't have any chance, you guys are on a stack of iPads right now, I didn't have a chance to like pick up my phone today, but you guys, we had the best time this afternoon doing our Guatemalan weaving crafts. This was mine. This was my like exemplar that I made. Mine is not like stapled or anything, so the pieces could fall out, but I did like half of it before, and then I kept some of the strips, like 3, the purple, the red, and the green out so I could show them how to do it. And then I had a student volunteer do like one of them. So it was like I showed them, and then I showed them, and then I asked one of them to come do it for me on the front easel. They turned out pretty freaking good. They are hanging in the they're hanging in the hallway. I'll put a picture of some of them here. But it was just like the most fun. It was such a great activity. I am so glad that I went with this rather than like coloring flags. This was just such a much like more engaging and fun and authentic activity. We learned about how weaving originated in Guatemala thousands of years ago, like over 1,500 years ago with the Mayan civilization. And we talked about how like in Guatemala, there are still like Mayan buildings and temples that are there from a long time ago, and no one like uses the buildings anymore, but you can visit them and they're still there, and they thought that was like the coolest thing ever. We talked about how the Mayan people created the weaving technique and how it's still used today to create, like to make fabric, and so then they got to weave, and it's hanging in the hallway. But I also brought this little like doll that I bought as like my souvenir when I did my like English teaching in Guatemala, and we looked at her skirt, which is made of like Guatemalan woven fabric. If you could like focus, come on camera, you get the gist. It's like the checkerboard kind of woven. So I passed it around and I said, okay, look really close at her skirt. That is what your weaving should look like none of the black boxes should touch. But then they got to see this, and then one of my students actually brought in, because I had posted on Class Dojo about how we were learning about Guatemala and how today was like a dress down day in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, and if they weren't sure what to wear, then they could wear white and blue, because that was the colors of those are the colors of the Guatemalan flag. So I had a lot of students wear white and blue today. One student had a Hispanic Heritage Month t-shirt, which was so cool. But anyways, another one of my students brought in Guatemalan worry dolls, which I'll put a picture here. But they are just little teeny tiny dolls that I'll just like read what it says. It's like, the legend is that Guatemalan children would whisper their worries to these little teeny worry dolls, and then they put the doll under their pillow, and then they go to sleep, and when they wake up the next day, the doll has taken the worry away, which was just really cool. But he had 6 of them in a small pouch that was also made of the like woven fabric hanging around his neck. So he shared them with us during morning meeting, and he had them in his hands, and he kind of like showed everyone, and it was just the best day. Like, it was just such a good day. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited that we got to do Guatemala in our classroom, and that we got to honor Hispanic Heritage Month in that way. It's so cool if you walk down the hallway now, because our class has all of our like woven like textiles, but it's construction paper hanging outside of our classroom. And then a couple doors down, they learned about, I think they had Colombia, and they learned about salsa, and they made little like salsa dancers and like the skirts with tissue paper. And then next to that, they learned about Peru, and they learned about Peruvian textiles and how llama wool is used. So they made llamas like with little cotton balls, and they're so cute. So anyways, when you walk down the hallway, each teacher also wrote like a little bit about the history. So I made just a sign that says like Guatemalan weaving originated over 1,500 years ago, and then still popular today. Anyways, and then their weavings are hanging, and then there's like a little sign for each room with like the craft that they did, and it's just so cool to walk down the hallway now. It's so colorful and just interesting, like you're learning something while you're walking. But anyways, so that was just I feel like my smile is so big. It was just such a good day. It was such a good day. My newer friend has just jumped right in. I know I said on Wednesday it was a bit stressful, through no like responsibility or fault of that student. Just the act of getting a new student once you're like into the year is stressful. He has had the best time, and he's adjusted super well. Yeah, so it was a wonderful Friday, a great way to end the week. Obviously, I'm still here at 5. That is because Jake was home early today, so I'm going to stay, I think, until about 6:15. I originally thought that I was going to just plan, but I got all of the weavings like hanging in the hallway, took down our writings that were up from before. I hung up the sign about like why we did the craft, and then I think what I'm going to do is go through their graded papers and like file them in their folders, and that seems like it wouldn't take that long, but there's a lot of them that I've created that I haven't filed, so like haven't sent homework in a long time because it's graded, but it's all in like a pile, not sorted by students. So gonna do that, and then I will probably head home for the weekend and end up planning at home, but that is okay. I would much rather get that done because that is something that has to happen here at school. Oh, do you know what else I can do? Hold that thought. Okay, I forgot that I told y'all I was gonna make the heart word wall bulletin board. I have not done that yet. That is still the plan, but that is going to happen this weekend. It did not happen on a school night, sue me, but it's gonna happen this weekend, and I'll show y'all in next week's like weekly vlog, Week in My Life. I made these composing numbers posters. So I have seen these, and you like cut out each number and like laminate them and then hang them up. I have seen these for multiplication. So like on the 2, obviously you do like 2, 4, 6, 8, or like skip counting with like the skip counting numbers on them, but I wanted to use them for structuring numbers or like composing numbers. Basically like every pair of add-ins that can make that number is on them. So here's the 0, and then it has 0 plus 0. Duh. I'll just flip through them really quick. And these are the colors to match the Hello Sunshine borders. So they match my classroom. But I just have all of them. Yeah, there's the idea. But I was just about to say I could get these done, but I just realized I don't have my X-Acto knife here at school. It's actually at home, and there is 0 chance that I'm going to cut out the 9 and the 8 and the 0 and the 10, 0, the ones that have like the insides without an X-Acto knife. So this is also going to come home with me to do this weekend, but I'm really excited to hang these up. I don't know where I'm going to put them. Maybe like above the white closet doors, just like in a row, 0, 1, but then they won't be able to see the add-ins, so no, that won't work. I'll probably do them low, like on the white closet doors, so that they can see them. But anyways, I couldn't find any on Teachers Pay Teachers that had like the add-ins inside of the numbers. So if you know of any that exist, feel free to put them in the comments because then other people could get them. But I created these on PowerPoint, so if you want these, I can put them on TPT and see if anybody is interested. Speaking of, I also need to tonight finish up the Heartword orthographic mapping thing and get that posted on TPT. My list for the things that I need to do this weekend is growing. Why does that always happen? Always. Literally always. There is always something more to do. Okay. Put these on that list. I need to write that down right now. I'm going to put a sticky on my laptop and write down all of these things that I've just said that I need to do this weekend so I can actually remember to do them this weekend. Okay. If you can't tell by the car keys and the fact that I'm holding everything I own, I am headed out for the week, for the day, for the week. Yeah, didn't get everything filed, but you know what? It's okay. It is 5:30. Got an Instagram picture posted. Shameless plug, but anyways, now I am going to hit the road, head home, enjoy the weekend, but also get some things done this weekend. But I'm going to end the vlog here. I hope there was something useful in this for you. If not, I just hope that it was nice to listen to me in the background while you did the dishes or folded your laundry or whatever it is that you have been doing. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love y'all. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything, leave them down below, and I will respond to you as best I can. But I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, friends.